I'm from Hangzhou. My company is called Cherry. I'm also the founder of the leisure food department of Cherry. The company started in 2010, and last year the total sales reached 1 billion. And this year's target is 2 billion. And we hope in the next 6 years the total sales will be 10 billion. Well, I think your bio is very impressive, and your net name is called 至尊宝. This is my nickname. Well, that represents equality, because in the internet era, everybody is equal. Everybody should innovate. Wrong. Mr. Cai called himself 至尊宝. Have you seen a Chinese movie because you've been in China for many years?
You haven't. So you got a nickname. Do you have a nickname?
老外就可以了。
老外就可以了. Okay. So do you want to give our audience some brief introduction of yourself?
Sure. 那应该掌中我是。大家早上好。
Good morning, everybody. I'm from the United States, Seattle, northwest of the United States. My company is also in the internet industry. We have our stores in JD and Tmall. We help American companies to build their platforms, promoting their products on Tmall and JD.com. Thank you very much. Now let's begin. The topic for this panel discussion is the future of traditional retail industry in the mobile internet era. And we have found that everybody is talking about mobile internet. Consumers will be more mobile. Consumers spend more on the mobile platform. Not only FMCG products, but also food and beverages. Previously, the purchase was very emotional, but today it has become a norm for consumers. So what changes will mobile internet bring to FMCG industry or to the retail industry? So the first question I want to ask you is, what impact will e-commerce have on food and beverage industry? Well, I think there are two impacts. First, price. Brick and mortar stores usually want to have the same price as online stores. Otherwise, consumers don't have to choose between the two. If the price online is too expensive, then consumers will still go to brick and mortar stores. Second, category. When online, there are much more SKUs, more categories online. In that way, consumers will have more choices. I'm sorry, I missed another point. There's a third point. Apart from Tier 1 cities, Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, or Tier 2 cities, e-commerce will bring more choices to consumers. Yeah, right. Lower tier cities do not have access to many categories of products. With internet, with mobile internet, consumers will have easier access to these products, enjoying themselves more. So what about you, Mr. Cai? What do you think? I think there are four impacts. First, traditionally, companies or retail industries always have their physical network, their distribution channels. With internet, you can provide one-stop service to consumers. That will drive consolidation of suppliers. Second, there will also be consolidation of retail platforms. I mean, online retail platforms will also be consolidated.
Internet will increase efficiency because we'll cut out intermediaries. Their sales cycle will be shortened so that people will have fast access to healthy and tasty food and beverage products, and they would get these products at a reasonable price. What's more, in the future, niche markets such as local delicacies will be growing really fast. And what's more, we're going to see a lot of opportunities in the sector. Now, what you said is really very interesting because we're going to see further consolidation of platforms, and we're going to see the development of some niche producers, and the internet is going to increase efficiency, and it is going to make it easier to purchase imported products, and there are more opportunities for differentiation and for more choices. Mr. Tai, you said that smaller companies might find it difficult to survive, but what about companies that mainly sell their products on Taobao? Conventionally, these companies might find it difficult to survive, but they're doing very well on the internet. Well, in fact, the internet has solved an important challenge, that is providing a very wide variety of products to consumers. The Taobao's strength, or the significance of Taobao's existence, is providing opportunities to businesses in all kinds of sectors and categories. And this will mean that your company has to be really innovative in your products if you want to be successful on Taobao.com. So in order to be successful, small companies need to differentiate the products in order to survive and thrive. Thank you very much for answering my first question. My second question is, in China, for manufacturers and retailers that are in the real economy, a topic that we can't avoid is supply chain. China is big. If we have factories in Beijing and Shanghai, we want to move the products to a small town in the middle of China. There are a lot of channels involved. There are a lot of processes involved, and if we do not have a good supply chain, it is very difficult to reach consumers at lower tier cities. So for snack producers, how can we deal with the problem of logistics or supply chain? I would like to answer your question in two parts. E-commerce will see the revenue grow on their campaign days, on the promotion days. So it is particularly tricky to manage their logistics. They need to have the very strong IT system and the right people to be successful. For our company, B&Cherry, Cherry, we have done a distributive network in Beijing, Shandong, Wuhan, Guangzhou, Chongqing, Hangzhou. We've established our warehouses so that we can handle all the orders very quickly. So did you establish all the warehouses yourselves? We have some of our own warehouses, and we work with a number of delivery companies and use their warehouses in many places. But in the future, we're going to have more and more own warehouses. If we sell snacking, wine, and imported goods, consumers want to receive their order ASAP. And if a consumer lives in a quite remote place, we have to work with the right delivery companies. Maybe we could put some inventory in the warehouses of local delivery companies so that consumers could receive their goods ASAP. And in summer, products such as chocolate tend to go bad very easily, so you have to be very careful in your logistics. And in winter, if you want to ship wine to Harbin and Beijing, which can be very cold in winter, then you have to be very careful so that wine will not freeze. You can offer consumers a lot of choices, but it's very important to deliver the goods safe and sound to the consumers. So you need to find the right logistic partner to work with. Exactly. For the internet businesses, logistics is of utmost importance. That is why Jack Ma and this Tmall have established their own logistic company called the Rookie Logistics. They understand the importance of logistics and its impact on the internet businesses. Now, companies such as Alibaba and Jingdong, JD.com have invested heavily on their logistics. They are expanding their network of warehouses so that consumers will get their orders delivered within 24 hours. Chinese consumers are pampered. Consumers in the US and UK are okay with a delivery period of 1 week, but Chinese consumers are not patient. If they place an order in the morning, they expect to receive it in the afternoon. Well, it is. Chinese consumers are very different from US consumers in terms of expectation. If you order on Amazon, you can get your products in 3, 5, or 7 days. But in the US, we understand that we only have 3 choices: FedEx, USPS, and that is a completely different scenario from China, because China has a large number of delivery companies. In China, if you want to be successful, you do have to have a very strong logistic performance. Now, in the past few years, we're seeing the emergence of so-called fancy economy. In the internet era, companies such as Xiaomi are doing very well. Another example would be Three Squirrels. They're very successful because they have tapped into the potential of their fan base. They have a large fan base. They're very loyal to the brands, and they would become repeat customers of the brand. So my question is, compared with conventional marketing models, which would mean large-scale TV advertisement campaigns, retail e-commerce sites few or seldom do ads on or put ads on CCTV or other TV stations. So how can we tap into the potential of the fan economy or fan marketing so that we could improve customer experience? We represent a number of US companies when they enter the Chinese market, in particular in the food and beverage and personal care sector. If these companies already have presence in physical stores, they need to have an online platform, and on physical stores, they need to do trial tasting sessions to attract new customers. And you need to collect information by asking consumers to follow your WeChat or Weibo accounts. You need to be friends with your potential customers. You have to tell the consumers that your ingredients, your products are healthy and nutritious. That's what's most important. First, I would like to say that B&Cherry does not like over or excessive marketing, in particular in trial tasting sessions or freebies. This would pamper the consumers too much, so that it would hamper the business's profitability and ability to charge a premium. We've done a lot of work in WeChat accounts. We would look at the followers' geographical location, and we would group them into different regions. We would interact with our followers. We would have interactive games, interactive competitions. We would ask them to apply for free tasting online. We have a trial taste festival on May the 17th, and we're gonna invite. We have invited a large number of celebrities to join us in the event. Now, are there any best examples in the food and beverage sector in terms of fan economy or utilizing the fan base. Bee and Cherry every year would have this mooncake campaign. We've had it for 4 years. We would give away free mooncakes, mooncake of Mid-Autumn Festival. But sometimes clients or customers' interests are harmed, and they tend not to be return or repeat customers. But that's what we do out of our interest in the social good. Every year, the campaign cost increases by 20%. This year, we plan to invest around 6 million yuan in this free mooncake campaign. So, Mr. Cai, you don't think excessive promotion or free trials are helpful? You want to use new ways of interactive marketing so that you could create a loyal fan base, so that there's going to be a long-term connection or bond with the consumers. Yes, I think that is very important. If you do a good job in managing your WeChat accounts, you can also actually open micro stores on WeChat. Customer experiences can be really good, and consumers would already have confidence in your brand, and they will be more than willing to try purchasing your micro stores. Have you opened your WeChat stores? Yes, we already have opened our WeChat stores. WeChat stores have been very popular these days, but we are very careful about the categories of products that we put on WeChat stores. I do not think that WeChat cosmetic stores are going to be successful because of the counterfeit products problem. That is why we think that WeChat stores run by major reliable brands are going to be successful, but we do not trust WeChat stores with less known brands. Now, another topic is, we've said that internet would bring homogeneous competition, because everyone can open a store on the internet. If you have a large investment, you could attract bigger traffic. But if you don't have much money, you can still open up a store on the internet. So e-commerce sites in the F&B food and beverage sector, as well as in other sectors, are faced with this challenge of finding a differentiation strategy. When we have an online presence, how can we differentiate our e-commerce site with other company or competitors' e-commerce sites? What is your answer to that question? What is your differentiation strategy? I understand that Mr. Cai has his own platform and brand, so what we're doing may be different. But in terms of differentiation strategies on brands and prices, I would like to say that the strategy is very important, but we can't just sell similar products. And if that is the case, consumers would go for the lowest price. And that is not good for your brand or your company. The right way is to cultivate or build a loyal customer base and build your own brand. Yes. You want to build your retail site into a well-known brand. I would like to make a few additional things. Now, you can't just have a random presence on the internet. You have to have a internet distributor that's in charge of everything. We are promoting strategic items on the internet with a number of key partners. Otherwise, the pricing scheme on the internet is going to be messed up, and nobody can make any money of the internet business. That is very important for major brands. And secondly, for B&Cherry, we have done two things. First, our products are always needed by consumers. For example, nuts are always welcomed by consumers. But in terms of quality, in terms of taste, we can make sure that we offer the best. And we would use salt or sugar to preserve our products so that they could taste the best. We wouldn't use too much preserves, though it would taste more fresh compared to with our competitors' products. And what's more, we have made sure that our nuts would also taste as fresh as possible. And that is our differentiation strategy in terms of products. And second is now, I would like to give you an example of lemon slices. You don't just eat lemon slices in China out of the bag. But we launched lemon slices that can be enjoyed right out of the box or the bag. That is an innovation by our side, and this could replace chewing gums, and you don't have to spit it out like you have to do with chewing gums. It helps you to freshen your breath. The 2 points made by Mr. Cai are very important. First, you have to make sure that your quality is as high as possible. Then you will have return customers, you have loyal customer base. Secondly, you have to be very innovative and launch new products in the market. Many e-commerce sites, when they're doing product innovation, are really fast, and they can invest heavily in product innovation. And I believe that that is a good tool to achieve differentiation. Now, I have finished all the questions on my list. Since we have some time left, I would like to open up the floor to the audience. If you have any questions, please raise them. If you have any questions, please raise your hands. And please talk to the microphone. My question is for Ron. Earlier today, you said you couldn't speak Chinese, but it turns out that Chinese is really good. I have seen a few news reports about B&Cherry. And the B&Cherry started off as a retail store in Xiasha. After a few years, the store becomes more and more popular now. For companies like your company, run by foreign business people, I've seen your website and your products. They look impressive. I'm sure they have very high quality. Now, here's the question. If consumers would like to search online for a certain product, maybe your website does not appear on the first page of the search results. So what kind of branding campaigns or what kind of branding strategies do you have? That is a very good question. In China, we see brands everywhere. They can come from South Africa, Europe, the United States, and South America.
So in China, that people have a wide selection of brands. and they have more choices than the Americans. And a lot of new brands start to emerge over the past 10 years. And so that is why you have to be strong in branding in the China market. So your brand has to prove that your product is good enough. Now you enter China market. If you claim that you have a strong brand, but your product is not good enough, so if they first try your product and they lose face, they won't come back. So this is why branding is very important. And so what have you done in terms of branding? I think that there are different approaches. It depends on which channel you are using. If we are talking about e-commerce, I think branding is only a tool. And that we can use both the traditional channels and also the emerging channels like Tencent and also the Tmall to promote your brand. And also you need to combine the offline with the offline. For example, offline you need to do some roadshow. That you need to do both the online and the offline promotion to uplift your brand. For example, that both online and offline, you need to interact with your fans. So you have tried these approaches to promote the brand, right? Yes. I've done some research on your company. Your colleague, he's not here today. In the news section, your friend mentioned that it's more difficult to do business in China than expected. So what problems have your company encountered in China? I think that the biggest problem is that there are many competitors in China. That is how you can make sure that your brand can be recognized by the market. So we come back to the issue of branding. So policy, that's not the biggest problem. I think that the policy environment in China is already transparent enough for us. Thank you. I have a question for Mr. Han. You mentioned that your business grew from the 100 million to 200 billion. You have presence both online and offline. The first question is that where are your biggest growth opportunities? The second question, O2O is such a big concept. And so what are the companies you think that they are the models, good models of O2O? And you have got a nickname. And the many expatriates, they have the English name, but you got a nickname. So could you please answer this question? Sorry, it's Mr. Cai, not Mr. Han. Because you said that you want to ask Mr. Han. So the first question is that your business grew from 100 million to 200 million. So where are your growth opportunities? I think that the consumer profile has changed a lot in terms of their age. And so age-related consumption behavior has changed a lot. For example, they spend more time online. So internet has attracted a great traffic. And physical stores have become a minor channel to distribute our products. So I think that internet has created great opportunity. This opportunity is not created by us. The second question is that you have presence both online and offline. So what are the model companies you think they are good at both online and offline, aside from your own company? I haven't found good examples or the model companies best at both. I think O2O serves to surround the consumers with all-around experience. So this is my understanding. So far I haven't found a good benchmark. A minor question. Why you have got yourself a nickname? Because my employees are getting younger. They all have got nicknames, nicknames to be used online. And so I have got myself one to be used online. And as for my employees, they spend about 20% or 30% of the time visiting the online stores of our competitors. And then they spend the rest 30% our online stores. So they do spend a lot of time online, so they like fun. And so this is why in my company we don't have a lot of hierarchy. And I found myself an online nickname in order to be closer to my employees. Alibaba employees, a lot of them were born in the 70s and the 80s. They have both got them the nicknames to be used online. A lot of them got, for example, the nicknames from the martial law or the books. For example, I once tried to find a person working for the Timor, and when I tried to identify him with his real name, we couldn't find him, but we managed to find him through his nickname, so it's really fun. My question. Online shopping is growing really fast. Food and beverage, in particular food, in particular the snacks are selling very well online. So basically, they are of the impulse purchase nature. So the impulse purchase goods are sold more online. So does this mean that the internet is best suitable for the planned purchase or more challenging for the impulse purchase? Is that the case? If the impulse purchase is more challenging online, then what can you do to overcome this difficulty? How to answer this question? So how about your categories? Are they more of a planned purchase or the impulse purchase? Snacks. Snacks, I think that can be purchased on impulse. And also, for example, the group purchase is more popular for the purchase of snacks online. And also they are more sensitive to price than to the brand. And for example, when they get the group purchase opportunity online, they will then look at the brands they like. I still want to go back to the consumer purchase behavior. In 2001, we started to expand the market. And our brand was very young. It's like a baby. So when we tried to sell our products online, a lot of people had concern about whether the food purchased online was safe. But now they have got more trust in us. They found that it's healthy, it's tasty, it's and more competitive. So for those food purchased online. So I'm talking about the nuts. But for the beverage, with the low added value, maybe it's more difficult to sell them online. For the people born in the 70s, and when they come to the age of the 50s and the 60s, I think that the more categories online will be acceptable to younger people. Could you please identify yourself first before you ask a question? Good morning, everyone. I'm from the Zhongrong Printing Company. I have a question for the two panelists, and I'm involved in the color printing business. And we have seen some of our clients present at today's forum. Our industry seems to be far away from e-commerce or internet, but we have shown great interest in e-commerce. And for example, some online printing houses have started to emerge. The questions I would like to address to you is that, and as you have a great presence online, so you must have known your consumers better than us. So my question is that, can you offer us some advice? That is, for us, for example, the color packaging or the color printing, do they have any opportunity online, or would they see any challenge from the online channel? Thank you for asking this question. Packaging and is a part of supply chain. So for the goods to be sold online, the packaging has to be appealing. And also for the goods to be delivered offline, that the packaging has to be durable. And so that is why we say that the packaging that's so important. Packaging and the printing, I think that they have great opportunities to grow along with the online sales. And I think you need some creative ideas to make your packaging more durable and appealing. And also the packaging for the different categories of goods sold online, you need to take that into consideration. To talk about the future, I think personalization is a trend. So it's not a market for the mass goods. And for example, even for the Coke bottles or even the bottled waters, they start to be personalized. So for your packaging and also the printing, you have to think that whether you are able to respond fast to the small lot, small batch. And so you also need to find partners in order for you to respond quickly to the opportunities in the market. Yeah, I agree with Mr. Cai. And for example, even the bottled water, they have more personalized label. And so labeling has become more creative. And because label has been used to interact with the consumers. So maybe you can find opportunities there. My name is Liu Zhen. I'm from university. And this is the #1 agricultural university in the world. And this is a leading food-related industry. I have a question for Ron. A lot of American brands have come to China, and they are sold online. So I have a question about the supply chain, and it's the biggest challenge for these companies. And the second question is about the fresh goods are sold online, and they have seen the growth rate of 100%. So what are the challenges in terms of the supply chain management of the fresh goods? Thank you for your questions. And for the imported food, the biggest challenge still lies with the customs clearance, and for example, in handling the CRQ labeling. And so this is a quite big headache for us. And also the overseas packaging, they claim that their products are organic, more natural, but they are not accepted by the Chinese authority. So they have to change their labeling in order to be imported into China. How to overcome this challenge? If you have a small lot and Maybe, for example, you can go through the fast track. And for example, the Tmall can offer you the fast track and to change your label and to change some of your claims on the label in order to be compliant with the Chinese regulations. As for the fresh food, and we don't have much fresh food sold on our website. We know that some e-commerce websites dedicated to the sales of fresh food. Tmall has also launched campaigns to promote the online sales of fresh food. They have been successful. For example, the cherries. So the 72 hours after they were picked up in the farms in the U.S., they have been transported to the China market. So to come back to the issue of supply chain, without good logistics and good packaging, it's impossible to sell the fresh goods online. And I want to add a comment. I have a few the fresh goods physical stores. I think that and to sell the fresh goods online, it has only got started in China. It's something to do with the cold chain development and agricultural development in China. So Chinese consumers, now they are far away from the fresh produce. And so fresh food with a high valued value can find it easier to be sold online. Otherwise, the waste is too big, investment is too high. It's impossible to sell the low value-added fresh food online in China. Vegetable is a basic necessity, but still the demand hasn't been created for the online fresh food yet. Sorry. Jenny talked about the transportation of fresh food. Here there's a question. In the second half of the year, we will organize a forum on supply chain. So we have shown great interest to this topic. It's a question about how to preserve the freshness of the food. We can see the vegetables sold in the supermarket. So in the evening, you find that those vegetables have become dry, and they haven't been sold out. So that means a lot of waste. So I think that the people present here, the people like Jenny, that you must have some good solutions in the future. We may need to talk more about these issues.
If there's no more questions, you can ask your questions offline during the breaks with our speakers.